You know the drill by now, I've got zero self-control. Stick around with me and let's look at what I got. Hi, my name is Memo, this is my channel, Houseplantygoodness, and essentially it's a place where I like to geek out about my big passion. You might be able to see some of it behind me, it's tropical houseplants. So as I said, yes, zero self-control again whilst I move things away so I can put the box down. And yes, I've been purchasing again because I saw something that I really wanted and it was back in stock, and this might be one for people that were looking to get this plant. When I did a video a while back, and I'll link it at the very top, they do have it in stock and I think it's been reduced as well at the moment, so I think there's a decent sale going on. I know this is going to be predominantly for the people that are based in the UK, but hopefully for everybody else around the world, they'll just enjoy the unboxing and seeing some really cool plants. So yes, without further ado, let's dive into it. So I've opened up the top bit and removed personal details because I don't need that on the internet. But as always, I would assume that the packaging is going to be spectacular, and it is. Oh, looks good. Got the packing slip here, so I'll put that down there just to remind me as well of what I got, because I didn't buy this that many days ago. But memory is shocking. But yes, big bubble wraps, which are really, really good. I need to deal with that and keep it away from the dog. What is that? What did I buy two of the same thing? Did I? You know when you start putting things in a basket and you're just like, oh, hold on. Oh, interesting. No, I didn't buy two of the same thing, but that is considerably smaller than what it used to be. So, got some cool things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants. 5 plants. Some of these plants actually have one plant I've owned before, which, as I said, I've kind of talked about it in a previous video, but so we have got, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me have a look at the list. Memory. We have got 2 pipers, 2 anthuriums, and a plant that I don't usually buy, and I'll leave that for last because I think that's the most colourful one. But let's start with one of the anthuriums, and there's a story behind this as well, because I'm just like, you know what, I've been looking at this for a while and I haven't bought it, and it is, as always, with the corrugatedness. I don't know why I put down the scissors, bear with, because I always do this and I'm just like, I need to like kind of open this. How am I going to do this now? Right, the forever YouTube-y thing where you don't show people what it is behind the thing and then you do a great unveiling. I know it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. But this is looking very, very, very healthy. Very, very, very healthy. So, ready for this one? So, ta-da! Right, I'll take away the scissors. This is a hybrid. So it's a hybrid Anthurium. There's a new leaf coming up there. You can kind of see this. You might be able to tell the parentage of one of the parents of this plant. Any guesses? Let me know down below. So this is the Anthurium radicans crossed with the luxurians. And originally this is a plant that I wanted as a hybrid. And remember a while back when I had zero self-control in the Spring Festival, the RHS Spring Festival in Malvern, and I got the luxurians crossed with the magnificum, and I'll give you the update on that one. This is the one that I originally wanted, but I don't think they had it at that stage. The reason why I wanted this is because I know a lot of people who maybe have struggled with the luxurians have said that the luxurians crossed with the radicans seems to do really well for them. It is a much more squat plant, so it's much more reminiscent of the luxurians, There's a couple of growth points, I think, on here. As always, they've got their labels, which I highly appreciate. Very similar to Ecuagenera, purely because too many plants, and labels are always good, especially if you're just getting into plants as well. And sometimes, and people don't talk about this enough, like the botanical names are a pain to remember and to kind of get right all the time. So actually having something like that that's kind of available to you to look at any given time is a good thing, whilst I drop everything down. So, and today was meant to be my editing day for videos as well, and I'd filmed 2 videos for the week, but I might actually flip it around and post this fresh. So I'll film and edit this today. So you should be getting this video first before anything else. So, ta-da! Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? But I think one. There might be a second. I don't know if you can notice these 2 young leaves here. I think there might be a second growth point, or it's pupped somewhere on the inside. The roots are looking good, I say, hesitantly, but I will be unpotting this from in here. I know this is a big no-no, and moving it into something else. This is quite a dense mix, and I really trust my Soil Ninja Anthurium mix at the moment. So let me give you the update on the other plant. You can have a look at it as well. So remember my hybrid of the Luxuriance with the Magnificum, and it was looking quite lush and it was doing really well and it got a new leaf and everything, but this is what's remaining of it. So I mean, it's still a sizable plant, don't get me wrong. It's also got a moss pole now because reasons, but you can see what's happening here with this leaf, and I'll explain this in just a second. But this is its newest leaf, and it is hardening off. It's not kind of dying off entirely. But what happened with this plant is that I left it in the growers mix, and I generally will kind of prefer to move it into a mix that I'm used to, because I think the mix that it was in was very moisture retaining, and I know this is a problem for Luxurians. They will go towards root rot super quickly. So what I did was take it out. Unfortunately, I lost about half of its roots, which was a shame, but half of the roots was still there. I took off 2 or 3 of its bottom leaves, hoping that there would be enough roots to support all of this plant. But the reality is this is the last of the older leaves. I think the plant is struggling to support this. So realistically, what I'm probably going to have to do, and you know what? No time like the present. Done. Brutal. I know, absolutely brutal, considering how slow the Luxurians or the Luxurian hybrids might grow, but that can take a long time to yellow, and it's taking away resources from the leaves that I want to survive, which are the newer leaves. So this one has to be bye-bye. And I know there's a lot of people that cringed with seeing me just do that, but it needs to happen. But yes, that's why I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get the Luxurians with the Radicans as a safety measure, because I'm still not convinced this is gonna survive. The roots are okay, they're still looking okay. I really desperately want to water this because this is feeling relatively dry. You can also understand now why I have given it a moss pole, because I want to see if the aerial roots that are on the growing point get a bit of moisture as well. It will give it a bit of a boost as well. But we shall see. This is the first Anthurium, I think, other than this type of Anthurium, that I'm kind of growing on a moss pole. I do have my Lutherii on the moss pole, and it is doing a lot better, by the way. So let me put this down. Okay, and let's move on to, now that you've had a little update on that, let's move on to the plant that I've added onto here because I wanted another one. And I will give you the tea on this one. It's still a very good quality plant, but I think in relation to what I got last year, this is smaller. And I think it originally was the same price as this last year, and it had the same amount of discount. So I don't know whether or not there was just smaller plants this year that came through, but yeah. Yeah, no, it is smaller. Let me do the Heidi thing again, the YouTuber Heidi thing again. I promise I won't take too long. You will see it in just a second. Let me just cut it off so that it survives. It's probably all the wonderful angles, but yes, so that's done. And you can see the plant now. Did it do well in shipping? Yes, I think that might just be the newest leaves. That's one stem that's looking a bit limp. So I don't know. We shall see. So this, blast from the past, is, interesting. Is it? No, I don't think it is. Right. I thought I'd saw a pest, it isn't. This is the Piper sarmentosum. Amazing. So this is, for the people that might have not have watched, this is the edible Piper as well, which is exceptionally cool. So yeah, really looking forward to growing this again. The other one is summering outside. But I don't know if people remember when I bought the previous one, it had many more stems and it was much taller. I do not know, considering how quickly this grows, whether or not they got it at this size last summer, and by the time I got it, which might have been September actually, not July, they had it sitting for enough time that it had bushed up even more. So maybe this is the size that they got it. This is looking a bit limpy, but you know what? This plant has been such a strong grower for me, and I'm still using it for food and I'm still growing it in this space in the winter, so I wanted to get another one. So, but they do have them in stock at the moment if you want to grab one yourself, because I know last year people were just like, ooh, that's nice, I didn't notice that they had that. They got it in stock at the moment. Can't promise that it will still be in stock when this video comes out, but they're currently, at time of filming, this is in stock. And yeah, no, it's looking quite good. I don't know whether or not, I want to see what the rootage is doing like in this plant. Let's have a look. And I'm really hoping that YouTube doesn't have issues with me using scissors, because I know it can be a bit precious about cutting devices, but hopefully it won't have an issue. Let's see. Trying to cut this without cutting the plant is always great fun. And I also know that it makes some of you nervous. Makes me nervous, but zero patience. Zero patience! Right. No, it's looking okay. It's looking okay. Let's have a look. Roots are okay, I think. I will be repotting this as well. I want to see what the roots are like on this one. No, there's some healthy roots in here. There's some healthy roots in here. I think it's just because it's particularly dry, which is why that one section might be a bit floppy, on the floppy side. So yes, this might even go and summer outside with the other one, and then they can both come in the autumn, essentially. But yes, very cool plant. Super glad to have a second one now, because probably what I'll do is just combine them both in a bigger pot, and then it's fine. And I've heard everybody that I know that kind of watches me from the Far East, and they're just like, this grows like weeds. It doesn't here, unfortunately, but it's very pretty. So the smell of this alone is insane. And the other day, the one that I have in the garden had bloomed, and it was so annoying. I don't think I actually took some pictures because it was pissing me off. But it had the smallest little aroid type kind of inflorescence, and I just kind of snipped it off and took it away. And then at some point I was doing something, and my hands passed in front of my nose, and I smelt, it smelled like what the leaves smell like when you're cooking them 100-fold. And I'm just like, oh, wow. So looking forward to that potentially flowering again. That was very cool. So yes, I'll put this down. Okay. Let's go for another Piper that I had never heard of before. I mean, the same thing with that one. I'd never heard of that one before either. That this is a smaller plant, and I knew this was a smaller plant. I don't know whether or not this is meant to be grown as a bit of a terrarium plant. And some people might be screaming at the screens going, a lot of the pipers are meant to be terrarium plants. I grow them in here. It's more or less like a giant terrarium in my conservatory. I mean, But yes, this is one that I had not heard of before. Ooh, and I took a bit of a risk with this, and ooh, I like. It's smaller. It is definitely smaller. Has it got velvety leaves? Ooh, sorry. I do the annoying thing. I'll stop doing the annoying thing. Give me a sec. Let me just take the little... Because this is one that you probably haven't seen anywhere, really. I've not seen it before. And this is why I love grow tropicals, because actually a lot of the times they do bring really kind of unusual plants. They'll bring the stuff that everybody wants as well, but they'll bring some unusual plants. So this is a very, very cool. So firstly, it is vining, which theoretically all pipers are vining plants. Let me just move things away so I don't trip myself. It's giving, it is actually, what do you think? I think it's giving kind of, in a way, kind of English ivy vibes. And I'm not a fan of English ivy, but I am a fan of this. And you might be able to see, hopefully that will focus enough so you can see just the sheer volume of aerial roots on this. And annoyingly with this one, I think I might, I'm going to need to do a bit of further research for this one. Don't do as I do as I say, yeah? Should be doing the research beforehand. But I think with this one, I mean, to be fair, the other, I'm looking at my Sylvaticum and Microcatum at the moment, and they don't have as much aerial rootage as this does. So I am wondering, this might be one that's meant to be in a terrarium, and I'll bring it in a bit closer and I'll hide my face. Can you see the slight pinkiness that's happening on the veins there? It doesn't happen on the more mature leaves, and again, I'll hide my face, but it does feel like it's got a bit of a glaucous. Is it velvety? I don't think it is. I think it's just, it kind of goes a bit of that silvery tinge to it. It almost looks like it's got some micro hairs. This might be one for me to like take my little microscope out again and just look at it under the microscope. Because I'm weird, and we know this, and we've established the fact that I geek out a bit on plants. But there is pubescence, again, that little kind of hairiness that's happening on the growing stems. So I would imagine, potentially, it might be the same on the leaves as well. But yes, I do need to tell you the name of this thing, don't I? So let me bring out the label, because I do not remember off the top of my head what in it's called. It's obviously a piper. And when this unsticks, I might be able to tell you. Piper rubesioides? Rubesioides. Never heard of it before. It's not the usual piper, and I know a lot of people haven't had successes with pipers, but I may be one of the weird people that has had successes with pipers. And some people have asked me, what do I do with them? And I don't know whether or not this will work for everybody else, and I kind of stumbled upon the care that I was giving it. But first thing I will do, and I will say with these plants, is I will not move this out of its growing media. I will not, because I found that pipers can be a bit sensitive. What will happen eventually, and I don't want to like move it too much. Let's have a look at the roots. Can I take it out as a one? I might be able to bump it up one size, and what I'll do then is I'll keep the whole thing in its own soil and then fill around it with my own soil mix, which again in this situation is going to be the Anthurium mix. Maybe not. I might go with something a bit denser, because what I find works well for my piper is, in my situation, even in here that's kind of a bit like a terrarium, is they are very happy with schedules. So both of my pipers getting watered every 4 days, winter, summer, doesn't matter, that's when they get watered, and they seem to be very happy. But a few things that I will always do is that keep that consistent, more frequent watering than you might imagine. This is not a plant that I ever let fully dry out. And with this one, I'll keep it in its soil, but then I'll amend with my own soil around. So when I'm repotting it into a bigger pot, I'll just add a little bit. So the reason why I'm saying I might repot this now is because it's looking a tiny bit root bound, and I just want to give it a bit more of a heads up in life. I don't know if I might just let it vine down. I don't know with this one. I need to do some research, but I actually quite like its kind of trailing habit. I don't have an awful lot of trailing plants, and I can put this up on a shelf somewhere. So yes, I shall see. But yes, this is the Piper ribinoides. Ribinoides, what is it? Ribesioides. Ribesioides. With the Latins. But yes, very, very cool. Okay, one more Anthurium and then we'll get on to the colourful one. I'm also checking in terms of timing. So this is big. This is big, and I was hoping this was going to be big. Where I'm going to put this, the rest of it is small enough that I've got spaces for it. This one, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put it, and I knew that this might be the issue with this one, but we shall figure it out together, shall we? Let's see how big it is. And I'm hoping that it's just big as in tall, but it's not wide. Oh, no, it's fine. This is doable. This is okay. And I've been wanting one of these for years, but I remember they were like almost a bit too expensive for me, and I'm trying to do this without flopping everything down. Let's see. Oh, and oh, I caught it. Because I'm weird, apologies. So, anybody knows what this one is? This is the Anthurium Peltigerum, if I'm not mistaken. Peltigerum. Fused sinus. Is it just me? The reason why I've always wanted one of these is because for me, that is giving alien vibes. I don't know why, or it's giving, I don't know what they're called. I also didn't realize that this is slightly velvety. Worries me, it worries me, but I don't think this is meant to be a particularly difficult Anthurium, and I think, if I'm aware correctly, this isn't one that's particularly expensive in places like Ecuador, but I wanted it to come from more locally because I know that sometimes this can be sensitive, although the leaves are relatively thick, but I don't know. But yeah, I've liked the look of this a lot, and it's either that alien vibe or it's giving, oh, I can never remember. Is it those kind of crustaceans that were kind of fossilized, that you sometimes get as fossils, the kind of long things? I'm not describing this well. I'll see if I can find the word and put it at the very top. But very, very, very cool, and I'm so glad this is. So that's what I mean. It's tall and it's big, but it's tall mainly because of this one newest leaf, which is quite large, but the rest of it is actually, I'll hazard a guess that I'm going to be able to find a place to put this somewhere. Where? Oh, no, maybe. Do you do that? Do you kind of get plants and just go, could I possibly squeeze it in there? Would it fit there? Ooh, there, actually. Ooh, there. That would work. That would work. Cool. Anthurium Peltigerum. And I'm aware that I didn't unpack the soil, but it's fine. I'm going to do this straight after this video. So last box, or last tube, essentially, should I say. And this one, ironically enough, out of all the plants, this one scares me the most, because I have not had successes with these, and I've definitely not had successes with the colourful versions of this, which this one is. I've had an okay success with the green versions of this plant, but the colourful ones are so pretty. This is another one that I might kind of move into slightly the soil mix that I know and trust at this point, which is the Anthurium mix from Soil Ninja. I keep saying this, but I really have come to love that mix. It gives me everything that I need from it. It gives me a lot of aeration, and does it make my life a bit difficult in the summer when it's super hot and I need to water even more frequently? Yes. But I think for the winter, that is going to come in trumps. So, it's colourful. This scares me to no end. Oh, and this one does not have a label, but I will tell you what it is. Can you guess what it is just by looking at the foliage? This one did not disappoint at all. It is exactly what I was looking from it. and you can kind of see the backs. That's a nice pinkish leaf there. Same with that one, same with that one. So this one is Aglaonema Apple Fantasy. And before anybody says it, I knew going into this that it might have a slightly, it's giving those strawberry shake vibes, and you can kind of see the backs of the leaves. I like this, but I also understand that this is probably not going to be for everybody. Has anybody, because this wasn't that cheap to be fair, has anybody had good successes with the colourful Aglaonemas? Because as I said, I've tried them in the past, but I really could not keep them happy. It's one of those things that the green ones really don't appreciate an awful lot of light, but then the colourful ones I would imagine would prefer a bit more light. It's also ones that really do need to dry out between waterings, otherwise they really will throw a hissy fit. They're also very slow growing, even the green ones, so I would imagine the colourful ones are going to be even slower. But they are very, very cool. And I think somebody on a video somewhere was saying that Aglaonema, it doesn't grow slowly for them at all, but I'm wondering if it's that individual based in the Far East, because I think in the Far East, these plants aren't particularly difficult to grow. Again, yeah, I will definitely be changing the soil, because the soil is very, very dense in this for this type of plant. And you can see, if you look at the kind of petioles that are coming off there, they're almost a very light blush pink. And what's in the middle? Oh, in the middle, I thought that was a leaf, right? Let me see if I can show you. Right there, that is a bloom, which, do I leave it? Do I remove it? My gut feel is to just go snip now and remove it, because I really don't need to see the bloom of it, but I always do like to see a bloom of my plants at least once, and then I don't have to ever see it again. So, I don't know. I like this. I like this more than I thought I was going to like it, and I'm trying to measure my excitement with this because I've had such bad experiences with the colourful Aglaonemas. So, I don't know. It is cool though. I mean, look at those leaves. And this is something, and I'm probably going to catch some heat for this. For however much I've struggled with this, and I know that these aren't necessarily the easiest of plants for everybody, if I was going with a friend who didn't know anything about plants and possibly wasn't a great person to take care of plants and maybe would be forgetful in terms of watering, and we pass through something that colourful, or a calathea, I would suggest they get this over the calathea. And that's saying something, because I've not had great successes with this. But to be fair, if you're a bit more forgetful, this is more forgiving. So yes, I don't know. I want to give this bright indirect light instead of kind of medium to lower light, which I know my green version of an Aglaonema, I can't remember which one I had. I don't have that anymore, unfortunately. I gave that away, by the way, before anybody asks. Wanted, so I don't know with this one if it's gonna need a bit more because there's less green on the leaves. I don't know, but it is very cool nonetheless. Nonetheless, this is very, very cool. So I shall see. But yes, that is all the plants that I got. Because again, I've got no self-control. See, a lot of you tell me that I'm an enabler. I am. I will take my lumps on that at the moment, but at the same time, like I'm no better. I mean, I am no better. And also, apologies for the scruffy appearance today. This is literally, I still need to go and jump in the shower because I've just come back from kind of getting a haircut, so I've also got like hair everywhere at the moment. So I need to do that straight after this. But I thought, let me film now, and then I'll get everything else done. But yes, hopefully you've enjoyed. Did any of these surprise you? Any of these are ones that you maybe are looking for or you own? If you own any of these and you feel like sharing some of the knowledge, please do down below. I would really, really appreciate it, like you would not believe. But yes, anyway, I should probably let you go because this is like the middle of a work day for me. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully I shall see you here soon. And I truly, truly hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.